Introduction. There are men who are born into greatness, and there are men who create it for themselves. But among these rare few, there is one whose story surpasses them all. A man celebrated by London's highest circles. A man welcomed into the royal court. A man whose charm could disarm suspicion itself. And yet, a man who never truly existed. This is the story of Lord Frederick Montclaire, England's most brilliant impostor. His rise was dazzling. His fall was catastrophic. And the mystery he left behind continues to haunt British history. Chapter 1. The Appearance of a Gentleman. Frederick Montclaire entered London society in the late Edwardian era with the quiet confidence of a man who belonged everywhere. He arrived with impeccable manners, flawless fashion, and a story so carefully crafted that even seasoned aristocrats saw no reason to doubt him. He spoke of distant estates in Yorkshire, tutors from Paris, and a childhood shaped within the marble halls of noble lineage. He donated generously to charities, attended the finest gatherings, and charmed duchesses and ministers alike. But beneath the surface, something subtle lingered. He had no known relatives, no childhood acquaintances, no history anyone could verify. London, however, loved a good mystery. And Frederick played the role perfectly. Chapter 2. A web of elegant lies. Montclaire's persona wasn't built in a day. Every detail, every anecdote, every gesture had been rehearsed for years. He kept his past intentionally vague. He avoided speaking about family tragedies. He redirected questions with wit and grace. And society, flattered by his attention, chose not to look too closely. Behind closed doors, however, his finances were precarious. He lived through favors, credit, and subtle manipulation. But he was always just charming enough, just brilliant enough, just mysterious enough. That London continued opening its doors. He had become, in essence, the perfect ghost in plain sight. Chapter 3. A dangerous ascent. Frederick's influence grew rapidly. Invitations arrived from Parliament members, industrial magnates, and even minor royals. He began hosting private salons, intimate gatherings of thinkers, artists, and the aristocracy's elite. At these gatherings he dazzled. He debated politics with nuance. He recited poetry flawlessly. He spoke of travel, architecture, and ancient languages with the ease of a scholar. But it was all performance. He had built himself from stolen knowledge, overheard conversations, and long nights spent studying in public libraries under false names. And the higher he climbed, the more dangerous the game became. Chapter 4. The Suspicion of the Crown. It was a single offhand remark that cracked the illusion. At a royal garden party, Montclaire mentioned attending a childhood ceremony at a certain Yorkshire abbey. But unbeknownst to him, that abbey had burned down decades before he was born. The remark caught the ear of a watchful advisor close to the crown. Soon, quiet inquiries began. Records were searched, letters intercepted, contacts investigated. What they found was nothing. No birth record, no estate, no family, no Montclaire lineage at all. The king was informed privately. "My liege, this man does not exist." Chapter 5. The Confrontation. Frederick was summoned to a private chamber within Buckingham Palace. The atmosphere was cold. The king did not raise his voice. He simply presented the evidence, or rather, the absence of it. Frederick did not beg. He did not invent excuses. He simply bowed, maintaining the dignity of the role he had crafted so carefully. The king gave him a choice: public exposure or silent exile. Frederick chose the latter. That night he vanished from London society as swiftly as he had appeared. Chapter 6. The Exile and the Escape. No one knows exactly where he went. Rumors spread quickly. Some claimed he fled to France. Others whispered he boarded a ship to the Americas. A few believed he sought sanctuary in the very monasteries he once pretended to be connected to. What is known is this: his London residences were emptied within hours. Debts were mysteriously paid, letters destroyed, and every trace of Lord Montclaire evaporated. But the story did not end there. Chapter 7. The Lost Inheritance. Years after his disappearance, a solicitor in London received a sealed envelope. Inside was a confession, signed F. Montclaire. In it, Frederick claimed he had been the rightful heir to a small but significant fortune, stolen from his family when he was a child by a corrupt guardian. He said his entire aristocratic persona had begun as an attempt to reclaim what had been taken from him. Whether this was true, or simply the final lie of a brilliant impostor, no one could say. The inheritance was never found. The guardian he mentioned did exist, but died years earlier, taking any answers with him. The man who never was, Frederick Montclaire, became a legend. Theaters wrote plays about him. Authors speculated endlessly. Secret societies claimed he joined them. Travelers insisted they glimpsed him in distant cities, always elegant, always alone. He became a symbol of ambition, of deception, of reinvention, of the thin line between identity and illusion. In truth, he remains a ghost of history, a man made entirely from imagination, who infiltrated the highest circles of British power and walked away untouched. To this day, one question remains. Was he a villain, a victim, a genius, or simply a man trying to rewrite his fate? Perhaps the answer is buried somewhere in the lost inheritance he never found. Or perhaps the only truth is this: Lord Frederick Montclaire never existed. And yet, he became unforgettable. If you enjoy stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe for more untold mysteries from history.